Since I'm still in the process of figuring out how I want to set Kongou's turrets up again, I decided to download a save file that someone else did because I'm currently working on Kongou and I really don't have the time to just dedicate myself to this game, so I just downloaded a save so I can use it for this particular purpose. So I decided to take a look at how some of the characters had their gun designs set up. I initially was going to go for what Belfast has here, where both guns are on top of each other. But I want both. But I want both turrets to kind of turn independently, but not be physically connected. This was my first idea. I was also thinking maybe I'll try something like Prince Eugen's here, where both turrets are basically back to back. But if I did that, the back turret will collide with a Kongou. So I decided to basically take this idea that Prince Eugen has, but move this turret off to the side slightly and a little bit above. I'll show you what I mean in a second. And also, if you're wondering what Kongou looks like in the other Erlang universe, she looks like this. The turrets don't even have the proper slanted for the armor. And the actual design or the amount of detail on this Kongou's, whatever you call these things, is it's just pathetic looking. But yeah, this Kongou can easily get her butt kicked by the Kongou I have. And plus the Kongou I have looks significantly better than her. So this is the idea I have. Again, it's more reminiscent of Prince Eugen's with her turret setup. But like I said, if I went to put this turret in basically in line with this one, it will collide with Kongou's with Kongou itself. So I'm just gonna have it off to the side, like I said, and this is relatively what I'm thinking of. And luckily, I found a use for that little selfie stick tripod thing I've been using to record some of my videos in the past with. And I'm using it to get the general height and placement of this turret. So now what I gotta do is I gotta go and trace it out in a way to where I can actually have some type of template to work off of. So I'm going to go and do that right now. And Bandit's out there licking himself and sneezing at the exact same time. Aren't you, Bandit? So it's now next day. The reason why I didn't record after that was because my mother was up and I really didn't want to disturb her and whatnot, me just yakking. Currently my parents are asleep, so I have free reign basically in the house as long as I stay quiet. And I can speak somewhat softly in here, you can get your idea of what I'm saying. So, this is the design I ended up going for to mount the second turret. It's actually a relatively simple design to where I have a little, it's kind of hard to explain, but you see it like this, and you see how it's connected to right here. It's just that, but it's full based. And I just basically hot glue the thing directly onto there. And then I have some reinforcements under the bottom to help it so it stays relatively straight. And of course it is going to move around, but it's definitely a lot more sturdier than what it initially was. I still got to do some more reinforcements around here and whatnot, and also cover this area up so it looks nice and clean. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to do much about this, but I'll at least be able to make this look nice and clean. And once I figure out everything else, I'm going to also cover up this side here after I'm done doing some more reinforcement. One thing for certain, I'm very happy I also brought out the big old cloak thing that she has because when I initially made this thing, it was way too thick. It was going to clash right into the skirt or what, again, I don't know what's actually called. So I put this on here prior to actually going full bore and found out that I need to basically bevel it like so to make it to where it can fit properly. And I managed to fix that. And I think I might have just a little bit more room on this side because this side of the skirt's isn't as big. But I am going to still use the little magnet system I initially made on here. Where's the other magnet on it? Did it fall off? Oh no, it's right here. I still got to put the magnets here to actually hold this skirt down because the skirt also stops her from moving side to side. As you can tell, she moves relatively easily. And once I put the magnets down for the skirt here, it'll actually reduce that problem. But what I might actually do is I might actually put the skirt magnets right up here this time. That way, so this will stop being this. But I also gotta make sure it's not gonna overstress the actual paper too. So again, there's still some more work for me to do, but overall, at least now you can see what I'm working with and how big these turrets are compared to the first set I made. So it's going to be real fun when I actually manage to get these things to move right and left. So the magnets came in. They came in these relatively big boxes compared to their size, and just to show you how powerful they are, even still with this much mass between them, they're still making contact to each other, and they're still quite a bit hard to pull apart. Again, it goes to show how powerful these stinking magnets are. So hopefully with 8 magnets per side, those little side pieces, or side cheeks, or what they're called, I guess I'll call them side cheeks, will actually hopefully stay put on the base. So with that said, I'm going to finish waking up. I just got up, and most likely around midnight or so I'll start putting this thing together, or maybe around 10, I don't know, it depends on how I feel at the time. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention that they're also wrapped in a Corona-chan's gift. So I have to make sure that I cut this open without opening up Corona-chan's present. Lord knows I don't want Lord knows I don't want Corona-chan's presents in my house. So that's fun. Oh yeah, again, just to prove how powerful they are, they're just in the bubble wrap. Look how far I need to be off the table for it to actually do something. Again, these things are stupid powerful, hence why I chose them. I already got wounded by those stinking magnets. I was holding them both in my hands, one of them slipped and just jettisoned itself right to the other one, and yeah, I got myself. Luckily the magnets themselves are totally fine. I just managed to nick myself pretty good with these stinking things. Again, these things are incredibly powerful. That's why I'm scared of these things when they're like this. They're just, like I said, they're incredibly powerful and also very dangerous. So I just got done putting in the first set of magnets, as you can tell right here. And if I turn this thing over, and let me get the light so you can actually see what's going on. You can see how I did everything. That's basically all I need to do to reinforce it. Though I might go in and do some more reinforcements off camera, but for the most part it works just fine. What I am going to do is that once I actually finish fully spray painting this thing, I'm going to figure out where the wear is, and then I'm going to take some clear tape like I did with my RC cut truck body, and I'm just going to clear tape the whole side right here where the magnets are. That way so I can reduce the amount of paper just coming, not paper, paint just coming off due to normal wear and tear. And I'll be doing the same to the bottom here. But as you can tell, I'm working on the bottom piece of this part. And currently, right now, I'm waiting for the hot glue to dry. And to do that, I have it in my freezer. It's still hot. Well, it's not hot, but actually it's cool now finally. Good grief. The reason why I stuck it in my freezer is because I'm using, well, I'm not using this one. I'm using my big boy. And that's because I'm running a tad low on the mini hot glue sticks. So I'm gonna be swapping between both these glue guns, but I'm gonna be mostly using this one because again I'm running low on this. And I will be using this one just only on parts I know that I really don't feel safe using this thing on because it's really close to my skin and whatnot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the whole same process again on the bottom half here, and that's going to start by me hot gluing this piece onto here. So I'm going to do some reinforcements and whatnot on here so this piece doesn't fall off. But yeah, I'll come back in probably like 30 minutes or so when I get all this situated. Sadly, I tend to suffer from thinking harder and not smarter. This was how I set up the bottom half. Then I decided to do the beveling lower lip method to where you have it overhang just slightly, but cut out a bit of the foam so it can basically slot in like this. And then I just hot glued that, and then just add clear tape down here to basically make sure this whole piece doesn't move around. And I just entrenched the inside, give me a second, with hot glue up the yin yang. So that should be more than enough to hold this little section down. So I pretty much know exactly what I need to do for the other side. Just cut this little piece off here on the top. Do the same thing to this side here, but instead of doing this, I'm just going to replicate this on both ends. And that'll be enough to properly sink in the magnets and everything else. I am currently getting the bottom set of magnets sealed in hot glue. As you can tell, I have a little cutout, and I already had the little pieces to allow me to properly line it again. And the one thing I am still doing properly is I'm putting it into the freezer for about 5 to 6 to 10 minutes or so to let it fully cure. Again, I'm using my big boy hot glue gun compared to my wimpy little thing here for mostly everything now. Yeah, 8-way earth magnets, 4 on each side, is more than enough to keep the side pieces on. So basically you gotta mirror what I did on this section, but with this section here. And just to prove how good these magnets are, if I can figure out how to do this one-handed without busting anything, I'll just do this. As you can see, these magnets ain't gonna allow anything to go anywhere. Excluding the turrets, because I've yet to properly mount these. I have to still get the servos for these, but yeah, I guess I can actually move these off. Yeah, they ain't going nowhere, and I'm pushing down quite hard. If I push down any harder, I'm actually gonna break it. So yeah, those magnets are more than enough to keep this thing down. So like I said, I got to mirror what I did to this this guy right here. But first, I want to give myself some food. It is that time, and I really haven't had anything to eat yet. I've been up since 6 or 7 p.m. or so I've been up for a while. And I might as well play a little bit of I hate my life and I suck at aiming. If it finds me a fucking session. Jeez, we're getting on levels of World of Warships when it comes to wait times. So I finally got both sides attached, and I did a little test run in the kitchen to see if everything works. So hopefully the truck can survive the convention, but I'm putting a lot of weight for this little truck to pull. Now if I actually go and tell it to go forward, it does move. I just have to apply a bit more power than what I used to last time around, which is actually quite amazing. Which means that this thing's geared for what I want, technically. But I'm asking a lot from these cheap Chinese brushed motors. If I could somehow upgrade them to brushes, or upgrade them to a different type of canned brushed motor that's more specific for this type of job, I would do it. But for right now, all I really gotta do is figure out how to earn about $40 to get some decent servos to spin these turrets around. So for right now, this thing's gonna be on hold until I can get those servos. I'll do other things off camera, like properly raise these guns up to where they need to be, and spray paint the thing, and a few other little things I'll do off camera. But I'll come back when I get the servos and whatnot and get them actually installed, or at least get them in and show the installation process. And I'm also going to do some stress testing at the poor truck, because I have no idea if it will survive all this weight.